Every thought we think is creating our future. Welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is a very important topic, that is calcifying odontogenic cyst. You are asked many questions from this cyst in your exam, so watch this lecture carefully. So WHO has renamed the calcifying odontogenic cyst as calcifying cystic odontogenic tumor or CCOT. The other names for this cyst are the Gorlin cyst or the Gorlin and Gold cyst. Now remember here, this Gorlin cyst is different from the Gorlin and Gold syndrome, which we have already studied in a separate lecture. In Gorlin and Gold syndrome, multiple OKC or the odontogenic keratocysts are reported, but Gorlin cyst is something related to the calcifying odontogenic cyst. Now, calcifying odontogenic cysts are a group of lesions which is comprised of either the cystic lesions or the solid lesions, and the third and the rare are the malignant counterparts of the calcifying odontogenic cysts. Now here we will study in detail the calcifying odontogenic cysts or the COC and the dentinogenic ghost cell tumor or the DGCOT. Now, the calcifying odontogenic cyst was first described in 1962 by Gorlin and his colleagues. In 1963, it was further described by Gold, and this cyst is jointly known as the Gorlin-Gold cyst. Now, Kurt Thoma and Henry Goldman described the COC as the odontogenic tumor of both ectodermal as well as mesodermal origin. The striking feature of diagnosis of the calcifying odontogenic cyst is the presence of the host cell keratinization. So remember, a most important striking feature of COC is host cell keratinization, which is a histopathologic feature. What is host cell keratinization? We will see in later part of this lecture. Now, Gorlin also suggested that the COC is nothing but an oral analog of the calcifying epithelioma of Malherbe or the pilometricoma, which is a well described lesion of the skin. Now, the common feature between this COC and pilometricoma is host cell keratinization or the shadow cell keratinization. It is also reported that the COC is a analog of the craniopharyngioma, which is a rare intracranial neoplasm. Now, the question whether the Gorlin-Gold cyst is really a cyst or a tumor that is cystic, that is a cystic tumor, this question still remains unanswered. There are differing names describing the COC. Fejerskov and Korg named it as calcifying ghost cell odontogenic tumor, while Friedman and his associates described it as calcifying cystic odontogenic tumor. Now, I have already told you that the COC is a group of lesions which consists of cystic lesions, the solid neoplastic lesions, and the third rare type of lesions which are malignant COC. Let us study the clinical features of COC. COC is rare, DGCOT is even rare, and it may occur at any decade of life but is predilected in second and the third decade. Males and females are equally affected by this lesion. Radiographic features: COC of the jaws, that is the central lesions, are painless and they are expansile. It is a radiolucent cavity with foci of opacification, while DGCOT is expansile and it is mainly radio opaque. Sometimes peripheral lesions of DGCOT is seen. So here you can see a COC. This is a well circumscribed radiolucency, and in this radiolucency you can see foci of calcification. Now the histopathology of COC. There are certain main histopathologic criteria for the diagnosis of COC. First criteria is the presence of a proliferated cystic lining which resembles an ameloblastoma. So there may be columnar cells over which there are stellate and spindle shaped cells with an arrangement that suggests stellate reticulum like cells. So the proliferated lining resembles an ameloblastoma, and the striking feature, that is the ghost cell keratinization. This is the essential characteristic feature for diagnosis of COC. Now here you can see the histopathology of COC in which the epithelium lining is proliferated, and you can see here the individual ghost cell keratinization is seen within this epithelium. Here you can see here the ghost cell keratinization in this proliferated epithelium. Now, what are these ghost cells? These are cells with nuclear remnants. The nuclear remnants or even remnants of the cytoplasmic organelles and tonofilaments are seen. Why is it called as ghost? Ghost because these are larger in size than the normal cells, like a ghost which might be larger in size. So the ghost cells are larger in size and they have remnants of nucleus, cytoplasmic organelles and tonofilaments. Now there is intracellular edema inside the ghost cell. That is why they appear larger in size. They also appear vacuolated. Also, the cellular organelles are enlarged. Now, COC has a immunologic similarity with intracranial craniopharyngioma. The immunologic similarity is shown to cytokeratins, both low molecular weight and high molecular weight, and involucrin, which is a protein that is a characteristic feature of terminally differentiated keratinocytes. So remember this, the cytokeratins and involucrin reactivity is similar in COC and craniopharyngioma. This question can be asked in exam. Now, talking about the dentinoid ghost cell tumor. Now, a calcifying odontogenic cyst associated with an odontome with a characteristic proliferative epithelium and ghost cells, this is called as a dentinoid. Now, if this dentinoid is abundant, the diagnosis of DGCOT can be made. So, here you can see in this tumor there is abundance of dentinoid present. All this is dentinoid, and here you can see ghost cells keratinization. Now the treatment and prognosis: enucleation and curettage can be done. Conservative surgical excision can also be done, but rate of recurrence is high in conservative surgical excision. Block excision or segmental resection is also a treatment option. Now, talking about the malignant counterpart of COC, it is rare. Some cases are reported in Spanish literature in the year 1965. It is aggressive and it shows distant metastasis. Other names of malignant COC are odontogenic ghost cell carcinoma and aggressive epithelial ghost cell odontogenic tumor. Amongst this name, the odontogenic ghost cell carcinoma is well descriptive of the tumor. The next lecture will be on glandular odontogenic cyst. Till then, stay safe, stay at home, stay healthy, happy studying.